All right. We're back, the Critics Collective, and we're here to give you guys another episode of what I like to call To Be Treasures. Tonight's film is called The $1 Billion Bluff, and we'll be reviewing that tonight without spoilers. But before I do get into that, I want to let you guys know, if you do enjoy our in-depth discussions about all things media, then please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and join the collective community. I love saying that, the collective community. All right. So, Dad Panther, how you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. It does have a ring to it, though.
It does. All right. Yeah. So the $1 Billion Bluff is a Tubi original. All right. And the synopsis goes, and let's hope that IMDB sets me up for success today. When a popular influencer gets kidnapped and held for ransom, she grips the media's attention by helping the criminals rob luxurious mansions. That's kind of a spoiler. All right. So it wasn't me this time.
100% a spoiler.
It wasn't me this time. Okay.
Yeah, as soon as you said it, I was like, no, it's too much.
I should have fully read it ahead of time.
Yeah, but they put it up there. So there you go. So that makes me feel a little better about some of the things I was tiptoeing about talking about, but that's cool. All right, sir. Initial impression. I'm almost certain that you ended up watching this before I threw it out there. But when you did come across this title, what was your initial impression? It was on my list of movies to watch. I did not watch it before you said it. So I don't know if it's on the list that we have set up for it, but
it is on that list you sent.
Okay, so all right, so I was gonna watch it. I'm the person on the group that loves watching Tubi independent. I don't have to worry about the budget or the names. Just give me a story and shoot it well. So my expectation was it's gonna be a pretty average movie, and sit back and see if I can get in get some enjoyment out of it.
Gotcha. So for me, my initial impression when I came across the title, because it was suggested to me before you sent your list. I looked at it, and I was just, the title itself actually it just seemed intriguing to me. I was like, that's making me want to know, what does that mean? And then when I saw it on your list, I was like, okay, that's two signs. We're doing it. We're going for it. You know what I'm saying? So that was my initial impression. Was like, I kind of want to find out what's up with this $1 Billion Bluff. I mean, that's a pretty strong title. All right. So highs and lows, sir. Tell me how you felt about it.
All right, so if I take a look here, see what's my highs and lows. One of the lows I'll say is the details. $1 Billion Baby, $1 Million Baby, the song would have been a better way to kind of look at this with the height of that song. But much like that song petered out and the album didn't do much, the details in this were lost because the $1 billion part didn't need to be a part of the get. I think 1 million would have been fine. 1 million would have been realistic. And there was details like rain. It's raining in a scene that's important, that's happening. But then when they make it to another scene, it's not rain anymore. Those things took me out of those elements. The gun, there's a gun involved, and there's no one who is sitting there saying, hey, look, guns work in a certain way. You can't just shoot them because there's things behind it. Those to someone like me who enjoys either reading novels, or watching, movies that put that detail, that took me out of it. The third wall, there was times where they tried to hit and press the third wall, kind of like House of Cards and certain shows where they're showcasing a phone ringing, who's in the conversation. They couldn't make their mind up of where they wanted to show it or not. And I don't think you needed that. It wasn't Bueller's Day, revisited. You didn't have to add that element. The other thing I would say going into it not being real was that I thought the love and that love romance connection was real. I thought that was authentic, but because the idea of what was going on wasn't real, it's like you realize in the event that something happens in a hostage situation, FBI gets involved. And for the stuff you're showing us, this would have been done in 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Like TikTok has done such a good job of solving true crimes on their own. The fact that was the area and the basis, you add a little bit realism to it. Like one of the cops pops up with an 80s tagline before making an arrest. And I just didn't understand. I'm like, the cop has never showed that the whole movie. Why doing it now? I don't know. But there are some good things on here. The good things I really enjoyed the pacing of this. I thought the pace was good. I thought the direction of this was good. And what I mean by that is it looked like someone who understood what they were doing. This isn't their first rodeo, because you could see in the settings, there was only really 4 or 5 settings that were used. And they made sure to use those really, really well. Even the settings where they were taking items, you can see that it wasn't really anything of worth, but it didn't take you away from the immersion of the story that they put you in. So I thought direction was great. I thought the acting was good. I thought everybody did a great job acting. Yes, there was some stuff that was over the top and not real, but I don't think I took that away from anybody's necessary acting. And the story, I thought the story was fun. It was a different spin on somewhat of a heist type of thing. And so for this, I actually watched it twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You watched it twice. Jeez. Okay.
I watched it twice, and I probably watched it a third time with the wife.
Okay, you think she might enjoy something like this?
I'm hoping the love will get her. The other stuff won't. So I'm hoping it's almost like Hallmark with guns. Not Fall Guy, but just a little. And that's a market. I don't know if Hallmark hasn't tapped it. They should tap it so that we can tap it.
So we can tap it. So we can review it. Yeah.
I was talking about something else.
Oh.
I was saying it says move, like, movie for me, movie for you.
Ooh, all right. So yeah, I got you. My bad, that went over my head. But so let me roll into my highs and lows. So you actually covered a lot of things that I was going to say, so I won't need to get into too much. But the highs for me was definitely that it had a nice quality to it visually. All the sound, normally a lot of these indie films, there's something about the production that takes me out of it, and this was clean. This is a very clean production. I did like the graphics, the things that I get what you were saying. They didn't really fully commit. Some of the stuff, it was cool, in the beginning, certain ways it was being presented, let you know who was who. But then there were some people that didn't even need that type of presentation because their characters weren't strong enough, or it didn't matter. And then because it didn't keep looping back in, it kind of became like, well, why did we do that? I expected that to get those graphics and that visual like nonstop and keep that social media aspect or that engagement, especially since that was such a big part of the story. Like the movie Trap. I don't know if you got to see it with Josh Hartnett. They brought him back. Like you mentioned, the social media helped solve or help that movie get to a resolution. And I wish they would have incorporated that, because in today's age, that, like you said, there would have been people going hard trying to figure this out and making the story move. And it would have challenged the writer to give us a little more. But unfortunately, they kind of overlooked that. Another thing is the accuracy with a lot of stuff. And if you haven't noticed, I've already slid into my lows. Oh no! Let me go back. One more high I forgot to mention, because there was one of the highs ended up going into my lows. But another high is that this story was actually truly original, in my opinion. The premise. I mean, you may have seen some variation of this before, but I felt like this is probably the more original indie stories that we've watched. So it was refreshing to get this story, and I'm not gonna say exactly how, because the synopsis already kind of spoiled a little bit of it, and I think that was what made it a high for me. Is like I didn't know what this $1 billion bluff was, and then in the very beginning I thought I knew. I immediately was like, okay, all right, I see where the bluff is. I literally in the first 5-10 minutes, I was like, okay, this is the bluff. And then it shifts. I'm like, oh, this is not what I expected, but I'm okay to see where this goes. And now back to my lows. The accuracy on the writing and the execution of a lot of stuff was really bothering me. I know everybody doesn't do their research, but there were things that were just, they were just too easy. They weren't answered. It was just like, it's happening. Like, them being amateurs, not knowing how to fence these items to make money, not being in that world, that underworld to actually exchange for money. And then us not knowing how much was actually accrued at a certain point, until we get to a certain point, and all of a sudden something happens, and you're like, wait, well, how did we even get to this point? I can't spoil. This is me really working hard at not spoiling. Okay, so, and just different things that people don't know about how, high-end alarm systems work and how there's actually, more than one access code that lets you know who is who in situations of that magnitude. Even where I work now, and even in the movie theater that I worked at, even the delivery guys that delivered our inventory had their own code, so we would know who's accessing at what point. So, stuff like that was just, but that's me, the writer. If I'm going to write something like this, I'm going to go hard, do my research. But I was still entertained. But another low for me was the tone shift. It started off very comedic, and then it shifted to something a little bit more dark comedy, and then it actually just got dark. And I was like, whoa, okay. It just got dark. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe people needed that to break it up, to make them feel like they're getting a new experience. But for me, that was kind of a low for me. I just, stuff was just kind of coming out of nowhere. And like you mentioned, the love aspect was kind of flailing in the wind on that one. It wasn't really it didn't really have a strong place in the story. Yes. All right. So I think I'm going to stop now because I am teetering the spoiling aspect. So we're about to rate this thing, but as we get into it, doing good. Thank you. I've really been working on it. But as we get into our ratings, I want you guys that are watching, think about how you would rate this film. Let us know in the comments how many accolades you would give it. We really value your opinion. And if you haven't seen it yet, let us know if this review has actually piqued your interest to go watch it. Yeah, and we can keep this conversation going. All right, so Dad Panther, our new rating system. Unfortunately, I don't have any graphics yet, but they will be coming. How many accolades are you giving this, sir?
For this, I'm gonna give it 3. There was some memorable moments, but nothing significantly impactful for it. It's just, it's something cool to watch. I think it was done well, and I'll give it a 3.
Give it a 3. And then my mistake, since I don't have any visuals, I do need to give the rundown for somebody that may be joining us for the first time. We do have a 5-point accolade system. I'm sorry, I'm being an amateur. 5 being excellent, 4 being good, 3 being average, 2 being below average, 1 being poor, and then recently just added 0 if it's just absolute garbage. Okay, so
it's better than what you've been saying in other videos, the 0.
I'm trying to get better every time. I'm learning, But for me, I would actually also have to give it 3 accolades. This was an average film. I was teetering on 4 because of how original the story was. But as you can tell from my review, there were too many lows for me that just kept kind of bringing it down. So it was like some enjoyable moments, but lacked significant impact, which is our definition of 3 accolades. So I think that's fair. But I do recommend that everybody give this a shot and go watch it. You may form your own opinion. Everybody receives things differently. Me, I'm watching it from a very, very, very critical eye, but I still kind of enjoy what I got. I don't know.
Again, I don't know why. Maybe it's just I'm an 80s baby, but if this was on Blockbuster and it was at the new release and Smile 2 is sold out and Joker's gone and Wild Robots is gone, I'll pick this up, grab some popcorn and some candy, and it would be a good day night. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I got you. And there's a lot of people that just enjoy the content for what it is like that. And that's why we have this Critics Collective of different opinions, different perspectives, different experience. Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please share this video so we can keep that conversation going. And also let us know in the comments again. We value your opinion. Every little bit that you guys do helps the channel. So again, like, subscribe, hit that alert button. Make sure you're with us. Our next episode of our To Be Treasures, we'll try to do this once a week. It's going to be Surprise 3, which is also a movie on Tubi. I'm going to try and watch Surprise 1 and 2 and then watch 3 so I can have a better perspective as we review it. But we're gonna jump right into Surprise 3 will be the review. So again, keep an eye out for that for our To Be Treasures. Oh, you know what I forgot to put up? Silly me, because I was messing with this. Boom. All right.
Yeah, so I didn't see it either, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just hiding back there.
Right, it's just hiding back there. All right, so I appreciate you guys hanging with us as I bumble through, getting my groove back. You know what I'm saying? You guys make sure you follow us on social media. You got the Dad Panther and myself, Legacy Lingo. Sir, do you have anything else to add?
No, I do not.
Well, I thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Critics Collective. We will see you guys on the next one.